Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3 Faction War. This is Wrath of Baal and Orks versus Space Marines. Blue Orky team, Mostafa is a Mekboy teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat. There he goes. Puts out some good damage with a bunch of Orky gadgets alongside the Tenso with a Kommando knob. Infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style begins in ranged combat with a twin link shooter. This is the Ork Goths elite scheme. Rounding off the blues is Connie, not going to say the full name, lest I get demonetized, with a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very strong offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Red Space Marines with a couple of Techmarines, Red Crown 555, and we have Novacyt. These guys start off with a ranged bolt gun, put out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Looks like Legion of the Damned for Novacyt, and double scouts up. Alongside and rounding off the teams, Ante with an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Looks like he's already used the heal on himself. Got the Black Templars elite scheme here, reloading his bolt pistol with one hand. Nobody grabbed the central VP yet. We got double sluggers and shooters here for the Tenso. Sluggers in on the Apothecary. Apothecary a bit too far forward there. Gonna go down. A little bit sloppy from Ante. No reason to have the Apothecary that far ahead of his Marines and his scouts. Shotguns are in. Maybe they thought the shotguns would come into play slightly earlier. Sluggers with burners getting too close to the scouts for the scouts' liking. Are they going to drop a model? They are. Tax should be fine though, and the Orks will take the mid, I guess. Over on the west side, you have shotgun scouts for Novacyt. And he did get Marines in the end. Red Crown, on the other hand, has double shotgun scouts on the way. And the sluggers don't like it, they're leaving. Did get a decap on that wreck point, also decapping the natural VP now. Might get shotgun to pieces though. These shotguns can really mint stuff at close range. Shotgun blast, not sure it was needed, maybe tried to get them off the cap with it, but they got a decap. Orks went through the mid, bashed a node. Have the VP, no they don't have the VP. Went for the resource points instead. No harm in that, I guess. Don't need the VP straight away. Novacyt is idle on the west side, waiting for the Techmarine. The only change that Space Marines got in 298, I believe, is the Techmarine beacons got some buffs, lower cost and a little bit more health. Only changes Space Marines got. So maybe we'll see some of those beacons. Stun bomb, good hit. Here's some Daka, scouts get a sergeant. Maybe a grenade on these approaching sluggers here. There's the attempt, it's a good one. Makes them divert, nice reactions though from the Tenso. Here come more tactical Marines. Tax dropper model though. Where's the other sluggers? They're coming out of base right now with burners. We've got Storm Boys on the field as well. These fellas with power melee weapons. Very effective against these tactical Marines potentially. Techmarine of Red Crown looking for the revive. Apothecary's still down here of course. Shooters get their Nob Leader, who's got even more Daka and can spot sneaky scouts. Commando might open up with a twin link shooter. There it is. Does some really good DPS with that thing. Techmarine gets it done. And levels the two. Storm Boys jumping in. Those are Red Crown's tactical Marines in retreat. Shotgun blast comes in. Maybe they could have stayed in play with the shotgun showing up, but I guess they didn't know. There's some shotguns top of your screen doing work as well. And it's enough work. I mean, well-used shotgun scouts can really frustrate early game Orks. Shooter Boys behind cover here. Scouts can grenade them maybe, or they probably don't have the energy for it. Just get in their face. And red team have the central VP. Meanwhile, this is red team's natural power in the northwest, which is under the charge of Novacyt. Now has some assault marines in on the looters there. Shooter Boys doing some good work in the back lines though. Looters have been dealt with. Assault marines run away. Now I guess they were taking Daka from the Mekboy there. Might have dropped a model. I thought they were going to jump after the looters again to try and take a model, because looters cost power to reinforce. We do have the big shooter Daka for the Mekboy. Warboss with Bang Bang Hammer and Boss Pole. Going to revive the Commando here. Won't get a level off it though, which will just piss him off more. But we'll get a chunk of XP. And Devastator Marines on the field for Red Crown. Orks on the central natural power again with burners. Shotgun blast shuts that down. Looks like Red Crown is coming here to assist. Contested power is turning, or is getting a node. It's blue for the Orks. Western is also blue for the Orks with a node on. So they're going to have a power advantage, but do they turn it into a quick tier 2? Or do they turn it into more tier 1 stuff? Connie, with triple sluggers, nothing else. They all have burners though. Big fight in the mid. Storm Boys kick it off. There's a Purification Vial. It's a really good hit. It might, I think it killed some friendly scouts. And those sluggers actually got away, look. Very, very close, but they actually got away. The Tensos with 4 hit points, as I look at them, probably had 1 hit point, I'd imagine, when they got away there. And the scouts of Anter were lost. Apothecary now has Sanguine Chainsword as well, just in retreat now. Should have stayed in play, I think, with everything off the field. Could have just waited for energy for the heal and provided some passive health regeneration aura stuff. Meanwhile, west side, pushing up, is Novacyt using the Assault Marines to get into the back lines, but they've jumped in the path of looters and that powerful death gun. Lots of damage output and suppression in this limited firing arc here. Mekboy is teleporting to the west side to harass some tactical Marines. They took the power here. The center is very red. They're even pushing up. It's been a nice assist from Red Crown, but here comes Connie with triple sluggers and that Warboss buffing with Bang Bang Hammer and Boss Pole. Where's the rest of the sluggers? Oh, they're not here. I guess they do have backup from the Tenso though. Can the Space Marines hold off this assault? There's one shotgun blast. Scouts got very low getting it done though. These guys don't have the energy for one, I don't think. Oh, maybe they do. Storm Boys jumping on devs. Oh, but they couldn't quite get close enough and they took massive damage. And in fact, they like jumped right in front of that heavy bolter, which is not where you want to be. And shotguns and double tacks were there as well. Stun bomb. It's a good one. Apothecary getting the heal off his bolt pistol shots there because of the Sanguine Chainsword. Gets a smaller heal off the bolt pistol, I think, compared to melee hits. 10 for a ranged attack, not bad. 25 for a melee attack. 394 to 437. Not sure why they have static values on the Sanguine Chainsword where most healing war gear on hit gives you a percentage. I guess it's a bit stronger earlier on. Percentage on the Apothecary's health pool wouldn't be that useful in tier 1, especially when he's not leveled up. 380 to 437. Lots of Daka on the Techmarine. Got the mastercrafted bolt gun, but goes down. On the power, burners are gone. But these looters are causing problems, eh? 372 to 437. Huge amounts of Daka. Is that not a cover object? I did not see a cover decorator. That pipe might not be a cover object. There are objects in the game that don't provide any cover for some reason. Ask Relic, I guess. Apothecary goes down in the mid. Pushed very far forward. 360 to 437. War truck on the field for Connie. Tenso getting a war truck as well. Already has a Wid Boy. Here he is. Support sub-commander for Orks with some powerful offense, actually. His basic attack is quite nasty. A Razorback for Anter. Razorback also for Red Crown. And Whirlwind for Novacyt. The war truck allows reinforcement around it. You can also jump inside, much like the Razorback. Doesn't put out huge amounts of DPS, but it's relatively cheap to get on the field. Orks again on this northwestern power. Almost decapped it, but shooters die trying to get it done. I believe some tax died as well, though. These guys now going for it. Mekboy's here to run interference. It might be worthwhile just teleporting on this guy and tying him up. Again, no cover from this ductin that's here, whatever it is. Some kind of weird flexible pipe thing. Need to get behind the barrels, I guess. Meanwhile, Orks on power yet again. Been seeing a hell of a lot of that. It's something you have to do, of course, especially against Space Marines in a faction war scenario, because they can get so strong when they hit that point in tier 3. That critical mass of power armor and land raiders and terminators and stuff. Tier 3 for Red Crown, tier 3 for Connie. 337 to 419. We've got Stern Guard for Anter, and the other squad has a Sergeant as well. Razorback doing its thing. More damage output than a War Truck. A little bit tougher out the gate as well, but there's double sluggers with Knob Leader and Burners, and they're going to rip through an Apothecary if he's not careful. There's the retreat, I believe, from the Apothecary. Another War Truck. Don't really have any anti-vehicle unless... Nope. I don't see any beamy looters. The Weird Boy, I guess, could get some hits, but not quickly enough to really threaten a vehicle by himself most of the time. Look at the map. Orks came out swinging in tier 2 with the War Trucks, applying huge amounts of pressure. And loading this power again. 337 to 390. Flash kits on the way for Connie in tier 3. Gonna see some blasters. Stun bomb. I guess technically stuns the units inside of the Razorback there. Just Ork things. Commando sneaks away. No war gear for this fella yet. Does the Warboss have armor? Yes, he does. Cyborg implants on the field. Something just wiped it. Yeah, Connie's down to single sluggers. Some good damage output from Red Crown on those double scout shotguns. Tactical Marines turn into Stern Guard over there. Can change ammo to combat all targets. These guys with Hellfire acid rounds loaded in, providing damage over time versus enemy heroes and infantry. Which is most of their armies at the moment. And missile attacks taking down the War Truck. Just drove into death. Did the Tenso. Very aggressive usage of it. Trying to get the sluggers right in there, but purification vials and shotgun blasts deal with them. Attack Sergeant is also pretty decent in melee. Reinforcing off the Razorback here, which is very handy. Scouts doing some repairs. I hear Daka. It's the flash kits with their snaz guns, as they call them. Probably going to see blasters at some point. Waiting to get the second flash kits up first, maybe. Mostafa also has flash kits and they have blasters immediately. AoE psychic damage, which is very effective versus heavy and super heavy infantry. For some reason, not sure what the thinking behind that is. They have the same mines, right? A bit weird. But it is what it is. Ouch. I guess it just like reflects the fact that it ignores armor because it just affects your mind or something. Not sure why blasters do that, but Ork stuff in it. Center is now red for the Space Marines, but they are pushed off by slugger aggression and they can get it back. Look at this though. Power being hit and purification vials beautifully timed into the path of those sluggers. Knew they were running at the Stern Guard. Decent damage. Stern Guard drop a model and sluggers did not though. Apothecary in retreat. Sluggers don't think they can get any more models off those Stern Guard. They're going to be okay. There's the blasters doing their thing. Almost impossible to dodge. Might need some Assault Marines up or something. We have a Dreadnought on the way for Ante. That should do a lot of work because the blasters with their psychic PvP damage are basically useless against vehicles. Knob Squad on the way though for the Tenso. Dreadnought will help against that if you keep it in melee state, that is. Mostafa has a looted tank on the way. Red Crown has a Predator tank on the way. And Novacyt has dropped in a Venerable Dreadnought. Awesome to see. Unique to the Techmarine. Tons of hit points and can charge. It is locked into a melee loadout. Would love to see this guy get a ranged option. Maybe like a las cannon or something, or even just a multi-melter. Seeing it with a las cannon would be pretty nuts. Big warp, vomit, and run from the weird boy. Looter tank is up now. I don't think it's an amazing map for tanks. You get some really narrow passageways, but maybe just send it to the mid where it's relatively wide. Looks how that Razorback went down. There's the tank getting shots in. Stern guard on the VP, having to flee because there's a Nob squad in their face. Have their Mina and Green up. Not sure what these tacks are doing here for Antair. Getting themselves into trouble. Flash kits are heavy infantry, so using Kraken Bolt's ability on your tacks is helpful. So are Nobs, of course, is a Dreadnought. Nob squad popping their frenzy. But they should take a whole bunch of damage from the Dreadnought. There's the Emperor's Fist for the stun. Yep, got some good kills. And the Dreadnought does inspire on melee kill. Nob squad get away with 2 models. There's a bunch of sluggers. They don't want to mess with the Dreadnought though. Triple flash kits for Connie. Antair still in tier 2, having got that expensive Dreadnought up. West side, meanwhile, look how narrow this passage is here for the looted tank. The Venerable Dreadnought getting some repairs. Techmarine getting Signum armor for marked target and does have the orbs. Need some anti-vehicle weaponry though, buddy. They have the Whirlwind's Hunter Killer missile, but where's the Tactical Marine missile launcher and stuff? There's the orb. Oh, it does catch the edge. The edge of it caught the looted tank there. Beamy Looter now getting shots on the Venerable Dreadnought. Has the Hunter Killer been used? Hunter Killer must have been used already. Might need to get on those looters. I think that the Venerable is going to go down here. Gets behind the looters. But the looted tank has the mobility, or maybe not, charging in. And that seemed to completely miss that shot. And it get away. It's now going to fight some sluggers. Blessing of the Omnissiah is up for the global repair. Taking out some Orks with it, but I think it is going to go down. Check out the slugger Nob. One more shot would do it. Looks like Cult of Speed is active. Yep, there's the Stoicism. Red team have the mid. Oh, Antair turned the Dreadnought into an assault cannon variant, so now it's super vulnerable to the Nobs as it loses melee resistance and some melee DPS, of course. But we do have a plasma gun Techmarine with marked target. That's a lot of damage for a Nob squad, especially if you wait until they use their frenzy, then pop that. Try and keep your Techmarine safe in the meantime, of course. I'm done, says Novacyt. They are very depleted, but they're in tier 3 and have a lot of requisition income now. It's going to be tough. Definitely going to be tough. Still have the mid though, 302 to 258. Maybe someone could swing out and help out Novacyt. There's some disagreement amongst the Techmarines here. Stone Guard take their natural back, 300 to 258, 2 to 1 for the Space Marines, but they have their power camped here. Predator tank on the way for Red Crown, another one. Original one still in the mid with a bunch of XP. Antair does go tier 3. Another looted tank. Only the single Nob squad for now. They are... oh, they're not actually fully upgraded. They don't have their hammers yet. There's Hide the Boys to infiltrate them. Scout sergeants should spot them here. This Dreadnought is too far forward for my liking, I think. You need it behind your infantry, I believe. There's a spot. No shotgun blast, though. There it is. Comes late, but it does come. Tank needs to start moving back. Here comes the Techmarine. Getting the plasma damage on the Nob squad immediately. I don't think they've popped their frenzy yet. There's marked target. They're going to take a lot of damage, but Orks are swarming the mid. The tank is still around. It's time to move. Orbital goes in. Those flash kits are really painful for the Marines that are back there. Apothecary getting stuck in. What might go down. Does go down. Some repairs for the Dreadnought. Thanks to the scouts. A flanking looted tank though. There's the other Predator tank on the right side of your screen. Whirlwind is in the middle of the map now. There's a Rocks on those double tacks having to retreat out. I think they spot it in time. Uh-oh. Whirlwind is just driving into it. Should be okay, I think. The Dreadnought, took a big hit at the end, but has survived. Space Marines got pushed off, but a lot of their stuff did survive. Both the tanks lived. Looks like Blessing of the Omnissiah is active from one of the Techmarines. The Techmarine lives. Level 6 Techmarine with that plasma gun doing a lot of work in terms of damage output. Master Crafted Bolter gives it that on-demand suppression, but this power is still locked down. But Novacyt with a Land Raider Redeemer on the way. Back to the mid, 231 to 258. Slight VP lead for the Space Marines. But we have a rocket launcher Commando now, sneaking around doing very nasty things. The tanks, down goes the Predator. They did get the Commando down, and that might be difficult to revive there. Stone Guard with the Vengeance rounds loaded in. Switching to Hellfire now. Vengeance rounds good versus super heavy infantry, which the Orks don't have, but also good versus vehicles. Uh-oh, Rocks. Warboss going in with a Power Claw as well. Down goes the tank. That was a very good Rocks. Red Crown with another Predator. It's been a rough couple of minutes for them. Here is the Land Raider Redeemer. Those guys backing away from it. Goes straight to the mid. He's not going to use it to retake the power, I guess. Whirlwind doing its thing. Mostafa has spotted the Land Raider and calls it out. Tank Busters. Being sneaky for the Tenso with Hide the Boys. No idea these Tank Busters are here. Taking shots from a looted tank. Oh, they want to go after the Whirlwind. There's a Tank Buster Barrage, which misses. But the volleys alone are a lot of damage. Not sure if they spotted that barrage and moved. That would have been very quick reactions, or if he just happened to be moving. Picking off in the mid another barrage on the Land Raider, which is a massive target for those Tank Buster barrages. Techmarine must flee. I think just hit level 7 maybe. Yup. And retreats back to the Land Raider, so stays in play effectively. 231 to 195. Can they crack this? Got war banners up. Looted tank. Bunch of flash kits. Some tank busters. A mean looking Warboss with heavy armor and power claw now. Up over 2,000 hit points, this guy. Dreadnought still up. Level 2. Now has Dark Age of Technology. So tons of hit points. Here's the push. Whirlwind isn't quite close enough to get shots in, I think. Apothecary just gets absolutely destroyed. I think it's worth that guy getting the customized Stormbolter maybe to shut down the Warboss with it. There's a shotgun blast. Whirlwind is now able to get some shots somewhere at least. Doing some work. Down goes a Predator. 231 to 161. They might get the Warboss. They do get the Warboss. Here comes an Orbital. Gonna do some decent work. Those guys have hit their retreat though. Here comes a Knob Squad. Infiltrated from the Tenso. Going after the Stone Guard veterans, it looks like. They pop and they show no fear. They're also reinforcing off that Land Raider. Provides health regen as well. Dealt with the Knob Squad. They got it out of there. They got it out of there. 231 to 138. Another Venerable dropped in by Novacyt. Awesome. Going to take some looted tank hits, but it has created some space for the cap. Potentially for a cap anyway. Can it survive? I think it's going to be okay. Looted tank is not shooting on it. It's a little bit stuck in there. Space Marines get the mid. Just in time before that weird boy shot came in. Those guys can heal up around the Land Raider. Land Raider's been amazing for the red team so far. Scouts on the way for Novacyt to help with repairs. They do have, of course, 2 Techmarines to help with repairs and pop the Blessing of the Omnissiah. Sneaky Tactical Marines actually decapping a wreck point, not the VP there. It is fully matured, it's worth doing. Actually, they're going to try and full-on grab it. And the Mekboy doesn't care. He's got a Mega Rumbler. I wonder if he can survive teleporting in with it, though. Space Marines have held on. Novacyt did not give up in the end. It's got a Venerable, got a Land Raider. Level 7 Techmarine. Another marked target they can use. Here comes the Apothecary again. Really should get his ranged weapon up, I think. He can't run into melee, surely. There's another Mega Rumbler going off. Armor of the Apothecarian, of course. Apothecary was still alive for a second there. Absolute mayhem in the mid here. Land Raider showing its back. You can't get rear armor hits, but you want it facing forward for all the guns to fire. Assault Cannon Dreadnought is low, being targeted by the looted tank, I think. Venerable Dreadnought in there, mixing it up. Getting those inspirations on kill. There's a Orks. And looted tank barrage. Wow, very effective rocks. Very, very effective rocks. Land Raider lives. Looks like they deactivated the retreat point there because they didn't want to retreat into rocks. Venerable doing what it can. Tank busters are getting big shots in though. And those looters reinforcing off the war truck. Killing some flash kits though. And then tries to charge out. Can it live? Level 2 Venerable Dreadnought. Oh, we got blocked by these stupid crates. Surely it should be able to charge through that. Double cap for the Space Marines. Thanks to the attacks that were back here, I guess. What is this over here? A tank coming out. Orks decap the mid. There's a single now for the Space Marines. There's a turret in play from Novacyt. Gonna take some tank shots though and go down most likely. There's a tank buster barrage as well. Looted tank getting shot at now. It's still level 1. 3 tank busters on the field. Get some plasma devs. You get a couple of plasma devastators up. Could do a hell of a lot of work here. I guess you're maybe a bit of a nuke bait if you do that. Flash kits are going to look after the VP as much as they can. Space Marines, they don't have the blasters, and if Space Marines with a sergeant especially just run into melee or something, they should be able to deal with them. So that Novacyt is going over there with level 4 Tactical Marines with their sergeant. It'll be a tough cookie to crack. Oh, flash kits are leaving it. They might get a decap there at least. What is this on the wreck point though? Sluggers, they could be a threat. They don't have their knob leader though. More flash kits, these guys with blasters. So that Space Marine's biding their time for now. Need to push top, says Mostafa. By top, they mean this northeastern VP. Down to 70, the Orks. Space Marine's not trying to cap at the moment. Weird Boy could knock stuff off it. Knob Squad still don't have their hammers. It is kind of a luxury purchase for those guys. It does help them quite a lot in damage output, but pretty damn good without it, I think. Hey, Apothecary. Oh, he does have customized Stormbolter now, so he can get a little bit of DPS in and, more importantly, shut down a dangerous infantry model like the Warboss if he was alive. But maybe he could use it on the Knob Squad as well. All 3 Orc heroes down, by the way. Are they all in the middle? Kind of. Nobody wanting to repurchase at the moment. And that's a big deal. Having none of your heroes around is a big deal. Tank Buster Barrages has taken out the turrets. I don't think it's worth picking those guys up, to be honest. Here's the Venerable Dreadnought drawing some fire, trying to create some space for the cap. They did get a decap here, as you can see. Sluggers with their knob leader now forced them off, I guess. Seeing it's a no cap game. Orbital, got vision for the Orbital. What the Venerable Dreadnought is going to go down as a Stoicism. a good orbital though. If the war truck stays there, it might die. The war truck is not moving, and down it goes. Very good orbital. There's a foot of Ork. Ouch. They can just retreat back to the Land Raider though. There's an Ork just floating around in the air strangely. Meanwhile, Orks did get this VP. Double cap now for the greenskins. Ouch. A bunch of tanks just got destroyed by a looter tank shot. Oh, tank goes down to a beamy looter shot. Level 4 looters here. Double scouts will harass them now. Maybe even kill them. They're not careful. Down they go. Warp vomit doesn't come in time. Can they get their natural back? They're going for it. Yeah, and these tube things not providing cover, it's really screwing with the defense of the VPs and stuff. Do they have them over here too? Yeah, there's a little bit of them over here too. Guess both sides are having to deal with it. Apothecary gets revived. That's a level 10 Techmarine now for Red Crown. With orbs, signum armor, and plasma gun. They are grabbing their VP back. They have the middle, and look at this. Got these high level tacks going for this again, but is that a venerable coming in? Or terminators? Or just tacks? It's a venerable dreadnought. Bad news for the sluggers. Awesome. Is that the third one Novacyt has called in? I think it is. Can the tacks survive it though? Can they stay alive long enough to get the cap? They got a decap. That might be enough. There's the double. 26 to 67. Back to the mid. Space Marines might have it. The Land Raider was amazing. Mostafa down to 2 units. I think the Space Marines have done it. Orks should have pushed the northeaster much sooner, I think. I mean, easy to say in hindsight, but there it is. A double cap at the end, and the Space Marines get it. And they were really messed up at some point. Had this power completely locked down, which they stopped doing after a while. Everyone transitioned mid, and as powerful on the front foot as Orks are, this is the Space Marine game right here. Try to funnel everything into one place with Land Raider support. They didn't even have Terminators there. I loved the liberal usage of venerable dreadnoughts. Awesome stuff. Look how much XP this guy had already. Let's look at his heroes. Level 5 Mekboy was down. Kommando was actually back to his feet at the end. Level 3. Had the Mega Boom kits. And kaboom. Warboss level 5 and down. Claw, heavy armor, all that good stuff. Level 10 Techmarine. Level 9 Techmarine, very nearly level 10. And a level 6 Apothecary. Solid play. They held at the end. Bunch of tanks died, but they just kept rolling out the HQ for Red Crown. I think they had like 3 or 4 tanks. Land Raider was amazing. The Dreadnoughts were really cool. This guy got to level 4. 1897 hit points with a ranged weapon. Awesome stuff. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part in a faction war. The Tenso for organizing things and sending it in. And I'll see you next time.